What's up, everyone? I'm Max. Today I wanted to talk about the very simple but important question of what is yoga? I think we could spend hours and hours uh, having a discussion or a talk about what exactly is yoga. Yoga is, it means a lot of different things to a lot of people, but let's bring it all the way back to Patanjali and the Yoga Sutras, which is widely considered to be a foundational text of yoga. And so let me start by saying I'm not an expert. I'm just a student who's excited and want to share what I'm learning with you. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt or whatever. So what is yoga? Well, the Yoga Sutras first start out with, the first line is, I've seen it translated a few different ways, but basically, now is the time for yoga. That's it, that's the first line. I think that, like, something about that I think is just badass. It's just like, let's get right into it now, right now. This is the time for it. But, once you get past that first line, okay, now is the time for yoga. Well, what is yoga? And the second line answers that question. Patanjali says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. And so let's break that down a little bit. I've seen this one translated as yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. So yoga, chitta, and I just recently posted a video on my page. I think it was the last video that I posted, diving a little bit further into chitta. But chitta is it's like the mind, but it's a little bit more than the mind. It's like mind, emotion, the heart mind. So watch the other video if you're interested in that one. Vritti means fluctuation, and nirodha means cessation of. So yoga is the cessation of the fluctuation of the mind. What a simple, awesome, interesting concept. So well, what are the fluctuations of your mind? And like I said, with chitta, it means more than just your mind. So a fluctuation of your mind could be like emotion coming up, thoughts passing in and out of your head. Maybe you're having a bad day. Maybe you're telling yourself a story. These are all fluctuations in your mind. And when the fluctuations cease, that's when you find out who you really are underneath all these thoughts, underneath all these feelings that come up. And so, yoga is the cessation of the fluctuation of the mind. So, like I said, we could obviously go really deep into this, and the Yoga Sutras has 200 different verses that goes further into this, but just as a start, I think this is important to understand. So how do you cease those fluctuations? Well, that's what the practice of yoga is all about. And you can read the Yoga Sutras, you can read the Bhagavad Gita. You could just go to your local yoga studio and you don't have to understand any of this stuff and just practice what they're teaching with the asana, with the breath, with the poses. And really what you're doing when you're doing that is you're training your mind to focus on one thing, like your breath, focus on your body, focus on awareness. And this right there is the cessation of the fluctuations. You're not when you're in your yoga class, sweating on your mat, you're not worried about what your boss said or, whatever. You're not worried about those fluctuations because you're focused on one thing. You bring your mind to one point of focus, of awareness, and the fluctuations cease, at least for a short period of time. So obviously the goal is to be like that all the time, be in the zone 24/7. So what is yoga? Now you can quote Patanjali and give a definition of yoga. All right, let me know what you think about this, if this is helpful. If you're interested in this, let me know. Thanks.